Hi everyone, this is Emily Leiphart here for Tailored Expressions, and in today's video I'm sharing 3 cards using the new cardstock colors to showcase the stitched easy strips that were offered as an early release item at Spring Virtual Stamp Joy. I'm in love with these bright and happy colors and I can't wait till you get them in your hands. Let's have a look at some of the new release products I'll be using. I'm only using the new cardstock colors today, but I have the mini ink pads here to show you what's available. Of course, full ink pads are available as well, and I can't wait to add those to my stash. The new colors are Bubblegum, Dragon Fruit, Mango, Kiwi, which is my favorite of all of these, Dill Pickle, Cotton Candy, and Snow Cone. Also available are the True Colors Swatch squares and True Colors May 2023 mini stamp set, which is an addition to the True Colors stamp set. I also have the True Colors Ink-spiration cards in halves, which are perfect for keeping track of your favorite color combos so you can reach for them over and over again. I'll show you how easy it is to use the swatch squares with the new cardstock colors to create a color combo and label the colors with the mini stamp set. You can also record in the notes section which cards you used this combo for and for what occasion you might want to use each combo for. Here are the stitched easy strips in 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, and 1/2 inch. In the easy strips maps, you'll get 5 different maps to create with, and these are printed on very thin paper so you don't add bulk to your cards. This is volume 2, and there's also volume 1 with even more patterns. These are a great way to create without having to think about what to do with all your strips, and you can do this while watching TV or listening to your favorite podcast. Some of these are clean and simple, and others are busier patterns, so there's something for everyone. You can also use these to jumpstart your inspiration and come up with your own patterns. Before we get started on my cards, I'm going to create my Ink-spiration card using 6 of the 7 new colors. First, I die cut the squares using the new Swatch squares die, and then I'll glue the squares onto the card. After gluing the squares onto the card, I use the coordinating mini stamp set to stamp the colors. Isn't it the cutest? Of course, you can also do this with the inks too, so you can see how the inks look in the same color combination. I'll be using the 1/2 inch stitched easy strips in 3 colors for my first card: Dragon Fruit, Mango, and Snow Cone. I feel like these are the tropical versions of the traditional primary colors, and I love this bold pattern. I've sped up this process 8 times and it went quite fast. Each time I remove the card from the screen, I'm trimming off the overhanging sections, either with scissors or my guillotine paper trimmer, but usually the latter, and sometimes both. For the strips that come from the top right corner, I cut off the stitching along the short ends, because I didn't want that detail where it meets the dragon fruit strip. I wanted to keep it more clean right at the intersection. Isn't this the most gorgeous background? These colors are so bright, they're literally fluorescent. For this next card design, I decided to use 1/4 inch strip of each of the 6 colors in both the stitched easy strips and the plain easy strips. I used the stitched strips horizontally along the bottom and the plain strips vertically. I started with Dragon Fruit, then worked my way inward with Mango, Kiwi, Dill Pickle, Cotton Candy, and finally Snow Cone. If this pattern seems familiar to you, I used it when the original easy strips came out. It's such a classic pattern that's easy to use with or without a map. The instructions on the remaining section of the map tell you to cut a 2 3/4 inch by 4 inch rectangle, and I've decided to leave this in sugar cube, so I glue that to the map and trim off the overhanging pieces. Another option is to cut off the remaining map portion and adhere the striped L shape to a card base using foam tape. I will have to use scissors to trim off the bit of the map still showing at the bottom, but isn't this so pretty? I love the rainbow L and also the white space because I can easily finish this card with a big sentiment or embellish it further with flowers. I also love the subtle transition from the vertical easy strips to the horizontal stitched easy strips. Choosing a color order for my third card was much harder than the other two cards, even though I only used the 2 greens and the 2 blues. That kept it simpler, but there were several different direction changes which threw me off. In the end, I learned to look at the previous pattern in the same direction, and that kept me on track. This time I used the original 1/2 inch easy strips with stitched 1/8 inch easy strips. This one took a long time to finish, so I've removed the middle section to keep the video at a reasonable length. I just love this color combo, and especially the stitch details on the 1/8 inch easy strips. I don't know if it's because they're a different color and the width is a huge contrast from the plain 1/2 inch strips, but they look really special to me on this particular design. Now I'm going to stamp the sentiments from Hello Lovely. Since the backgrounds are so bright and bold, I'm going to use the largest ones so I can pick and choose which ones look best on the backgrounds I've created. I'm also going to stamp them in black on sugar cube cardstock to keep it simple. There are so many options with these beautiful sentiments, and after deciding which 3 I'm going to use, I can finish the cards. For the first card, I've die cut the small blossom using the garden variety dies. I'm layering sea salt over oyster, and I'm randomly gluing the 2 layers together. Next, I add a shadow layer to the sentiment cut from black licorice cardstock. When I determine their placement around the sentiment, I attach the posies to the card base using glue dots and then pop up the sentiment with foam squares. To finish, I add black enamel dots to the centers of the flowers. For my second card, I wanted to keep it super simple because it really doesn't need anything else, and every so often I love a good clean and simple card design. The only thing I needed to do was add a shadow to the sentiment and pop it onto the card base with foam squares. For the third and final card, I also added a black shadow to the sentiment. Then I cut the subtle sprigs from poppy seed cardstock and tucked them under the sentiment, which is also popped up with foam squares. I added a few silver metallic enamel dots in 2 sizes. Originally, they were all the same size and not in a good formation, so I adjusted their positions. Now all of my cards are done. Here's a review of all 3 cards. Even though all of the cards use the Easy Strips dies, they all look quite different, especially with the slight change in color combinations, widths, and stitching details. I hope you're as excited about these new colors and products as I am, and I can't wait to see all of your amazing projects. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more inspiration. You can find all of these products in the Tailored Expressions web store at tailoredexpressions.com. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.